Hey, howdy, hey, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to Disney Daily. 2001's Atlantis: The Lost Empire is one of the Disney movies I'm most passionate about because I really felt like I was a part of the journey as a kid. And to be quite honest, it was so different compared to all other Disney films. My most favorite aspect about the movie was the various characters chosen for the Atlantis exploration. Not to mention the casting choices for the characters was impeccable. But today we are going to focus on the funniest member of the bunch, Mole. Mole is one of the handpicked professionals by Mr. Whitmore. He is obsessed with all things dirt and has a real passion for digging. He is the only member whose backstory isn't given in the film when the crew members bond around the campfire. So I figured if Mole's story was neglected in the movie, then it was only right that I address it on my channel. So sit back and enjoy Mole's full story. Before we dive into his history, let's talk about his creation in the early stages. Now, there was no doubt about Mole's personality. Creators always envisioned him as the comedic character. However, they did struggle with a concept for how he should look physically. Early designs had him seen as more serious, that is, until Chris Yore, one of the main story artists, came along. He decided to depict Mole as a more rodent-like creature, and he took major inspiration from the character Pigpen from the Peanuts gang. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Charlie Brown, Pigpen is the character who was constantly surrounded by a permanent cloud of dirt. Now, let's move into his history. Mole, or more properly known as Gaëtan Molière, was born to a middle-class family in Paris, France. He is the youngest of 4 brothers, and both his parents are teachers. His father is a professor at a university, while his mother is a retired music teacher. At the very early age of 7, Mole had an interest for sewers. He found them fascinating and wanted to know more about their design and purpose. He was so fascinated, in fact, that he would spend his childhood days exploring the major sewage systems. In addition to being an explorer, Mole also became an inventor and created his own tools to use on his late-night excursions in the tunnels below the city. For example, at around just 13 years old, he had developed his own pair of specialized headgear with goggles. Eventually, Mole would start to explore places more like the countryside after the sewages became too predictable for him. At the age of 17, Mole entered the Sorbonne, which is a college located in France. However, not too long after starting college, Mole left because he was given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to become a special tech advisor for a local mining company. As he continued to work in this field, he developed an extensive knowledge of geology and became one of the first to explore tectonics. He had developed and invented over 62 mining and excavation vehicles, as well as various tools and equipment all needed in the science of tectonics. In addition to all of this, Mole has developed a highly sensitive sense of smell and taste. He can actually identify any mineral or soil through taste alone with a 98.75 accuracy. Now, after reading all this new information on Mole, it makes sense as to why he is the way he is. In the movie, the crew sees Mole as peculiar and strange, but I don't think that's an accurate depiction of Mole. Mole is just not a people's person because he spent a lot of time by himself in caves. He wasn't concerned about polishing his people skills, but rather identifying new soils and studying rocks. Well, that concludes this episode of Disney Daily. My question for you all today is, who is your favorite crew member in Atlantis, not including Milo or Kida? As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.